Greetings, 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 greetings. Welcome, 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 everyone. Greetings, peace and love, everybody. I want to welcome you all to the Street Talk Daily Show. And tonight we have my special friend, Sophia Stewart, the creator and the owner of The Matrix. That's going to be our guest tonight. One of my special friends, my beautiful sister. I want to welcome you to the show and bring you on, sis. Okay, give me 1 second. As you all, hey, beautiful. What's up,
Yeah,
sister?
hi, how you
How you
doing?
doing?
You forgot the
Yeah.
Terminator, but it's all good. I
And
said,
the Terminator, you know, we've been
oh, it's all
friends so
right.
long. You know, I know your background, but for all of my subscribers and family and friends that's watching, everybody's like, a woman wrote the in the Matrix. I said, yeah. So I want to bring you on and introduce you to the world that don't know that you are the creator, you are the owner of the Matrix and the Terminator.
Yes, they
So
need to know.
they need to know. So I just want you to do your thing, and I'm sure my subscribers will have a couple of questions for you. I could bring some on if you want to ask questions, but just tell us a little bit of background. I know, but for those that don't know about
Well,
your
hi, everyone. I'm from New York City. Of course, I went to school, USC, have a degree in journalism, a double major in law and psychology, studied to be a lawyer and a doctor, and also City University of New York. I went to school with Marcus Allen and Ronnie Lott and James Sinclair, August Curley, Dennis Johnson, the Moore brothers, and to name a few. And Ronnie Lott, of course, and of course Charles White was on his way out when I came in, but I met him. Marcus introduced me to him.
hmm
So I wrote The Matrix and Terminator. I created it. Come from my book, the Third Eye Matrix Terminator book. I've written several books on Matrix and Terminator. Please buy the books. You've seen the movies, now get the details in the book. Very, very important. Go to my website, truthaboutmatrix.com or matrixterminator.com. Get the books and read the details. Get the fourth installment, Matrix Evolution. The first is The Matrix, the second is Reloaded Rebellion. And the third is Revolution, and the fourth, of course, is Evolution because now the machines have evolved and they're greater than ever before. Okay? And you guys can ask me anything you want. I will answer.
yes. So I dropped the link in the chat, and I know some people are gonna have questions. I have friends that would love, couldn't wait to meet you. So for those that want to ask her questions or come on, the link is in the chat. Let me double check and make sure it's in the chat. Give me 1 second for you.
Oh, you could take your time. I'm ready.
Okay. 1 second. So you want to give them a little background about the case and what took place, because they always thought that the brothers wrote Waskowski or Wakowski, how you pronounce it?
Oh, their name is Wachowskis. Well, they're Polish Jews, Wachowskis, Andy and Larry Wachowski.
Mm-hmm.
They never wrote anything and they never proclaimed to have written anything. They do
Uh-huh.
proclaim that they directed the movies, that they were
Got
the directors, but they have no creativity as far as the source work, the copyrighted source work. They have no books, no scripts. They were writers for hire. You can see this on where they applied for copyright but couldn't get one. I own the copyrights to the derivatives. They are the derivatives of the movies. They're nothing but derived from the primary source, and they're nothing but secondary source. So everybody needs to know the court case was over 7 years ago. It lasted for 7 years. It was in 2007 and it was over in 2014. So people are still reading old information on the internet, which is confusing, which is a bunch of lies and ignorance. And people really believe it. The garbage they're reading. They believe that Andy and Larry have turned into women, but that is a lie also for the LGBTQ organization. Ask them for their legal name change, ask them for their medical records, and they cannot produce any of that. Andy has been married to his wife for 22 or 23 years. Larry got a divorce from his wife in 1993, and he's with some dominatrix woman. They are men and they love women.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
it's true. I just don't see how people could be so fooled. But I
Yeah.
guess people can be plugged into the matrix because the matrix is they're programs, and programs are nothing according to the witches and the warlocks is but spells that they put on people that they cast on them for them to go into certain directions. It's all politically based. A polite politics is nothing but a polite lie. That's all. Politically based because everybody will promise you the world, and when they get there, they find out they have a puppet master, and they're nothing but puppets, and they have to do what the puppet master tells them to do and speak in order to keep their jobs.
Wow. Have you been keeping up with the Kwame Brown story that's going on? And
Well, if you tell me a little bit about it, I can elaborate on it.
well, he was drafted out of high school, 17, I believe, years old. Michael Jordan drafted him, and um, basically, they called him a bus life, teased him for 20 years. The commentators on the sports channel, and
Right.
basically, in the last month, he's been coming for the sports industry, entertainment industry, calling them out. Since you spoke on being controlled by the puppet master, you have so many people that want to get into the entertainment industry, want to be rappers, models, and they don't really know what that industry is about. You feel me? So
Yes, I do feel you, and I do know what you're saying. Go on.
me being in the industry in the past, having the experiences, of course, your story and what you have been through, a lot of people don't know, what they're getting into. And
Well, I haven't been doing anything because I don't belong to the cabal. Uh,
exactly,
People need to understand you go through things when you belong to the cabal. The cabal can ball you and stop you from making money. They can ruin your reputation because I'm sure they film a lot of people's private information and they turn around and blackmail them with it, or they will expose them like Bill Cosby, what happened to him.
yeah,
When you start doing stuff in that business and you're owned by them, they're going to take out some insurance policies on you. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to take out some life insurance policy also, because you work for them. You know what I'm talking about? I don't work for the cabal, so I didn't go through anything. They
exactly,
stole my copyrighted work and made money off of it, but it belonged to me from the beginning. It's just like somebody come and steal your car out of the yard. The title's in your name. All they're going to do is make money off of your DeLorean. And that's all they can do. And the money, the damages belong to you. I went into the courts and sued for the damages and got it. So, and pro se, and people need to recognize that and realize that yes, you can beat the cabal. It's quite easy. They're just like anybody else. Yes, they got a lot of money. Yeah, they have a lot of political pull, but power is nothing but influence, and money is illusionary. Yes, we need it because we live in a world that worship the almighty dollar and worship political power.
Mm-hmm.
But God is real also.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So Matrix 4. You dropped the books Matrix 4, and can you tell us a little bit? Because I got to get the book too, so I'm anxious.
Yeah, do you know the Matrix 4 has been out for 11 years? It's been out. I dropped the fourth installment in 2010, actually. And it's been selling around the world globally because I have 2 to 3 billion fans globally on the brands Matrix and Terminator film franchises. And I have 250 million fans personally of my own. We have like a lot of people in America, but in the foreign countries, there are more people that know me in the foreign countries because they're big super Matrix fans than in America. It's like 385 million people in America. But Americans are basically sleep. But the people in these third world countries and all over, there's more people globally, and they are aware of what's going on in America, and they are aware of what's going on, period, with life. So the fourth installment actually goes into greater technology. I've written about alien technology. I've introduced you guys to the hologram clones. Now, holograms been around for years, but not hologram clones, which I trademarked and copyrighted. And so when you saw Tupac at Coachella, his hologram clone, they had read my book, and that's where they got the hologram clone for. And when you see here in Vegas, Michael Jackson won. Those are hologram clones, and Whitney, they owe me a lot of money behind that because that is criminal infringement. They have been using holograms over in the Asian countries for years, but not hologram clones that perform and look like the actual artist. And I was talking about virtual reality, virtual penal system, where you'll have these rings around your body and arms, and people will know that you're in jail because they will be no longer able to feed you, clothe you, medical and everything. But they're going to chip you and put these virtual rings on you and let you loose because now the satellites will track you, Enemy of the State, where you saw with Will Smith, where the satellites are just ruling and coming down and videotaping you and looking at your every movement. I'm talking about all of that for 11 years in the Matrix. And the fact that we have all this media, but owned by certain people and certain corporations and certain companies, and you're mimicking and living in the Matrix. And I'm trying to unplug you and trying to get you to pay attention. The word matrix is a 7,000-year-old Latin word for the woman's womb. It's mentioned 5 times in the Bible, 3 times in Exodus, 2 times in Numbers. It is the Terminator end time revelations is where the prophecy comes from. And Terminator is the prequels or the beginning of the epic story of the Matrix. They're one and the same. So the machines in the future, here's the oracle's prophecy that a baby is going to be born. This Christ baby, JC, John Connors, who grows up to be Neo, one and the same in the Matrix, is going to take them out when they enslave mankind in the future. It's like a living prophecy, and that we're living in the Matrix right now. And you can tell because people, when they speak to me, they're speaking programs to me. Like they have no original thoughts. Like they don't know what original thought is. And they've been, when they come out of the matrix, the womb, the woman stargate, her portal, they automatically know this information, the knowledge of God. But once they start school, They start getting the programs of what I call the spells or spelling or curses or cursive. They act like they don't know how to create with math. Mathematics is the universal language. Without math, the engineer cannot create a car. Without math, the architect cannot create a building or a bridge. Without math, you can't create anything because all materialistic things is created from math. Even the formulas of Coca-Cola and the formulas of the um, what you call the nuclear bombs or stuff. They all have formulas. They all have codes, and you have to crack the codes to go into the system. And I'm a polymath, and I'm a prodigy, and that's something people need to know. They always ask, "Well, what is a prodigy?" It's a 12-year-old girl that's getting her degree, and she's getting ready to go to work for NASA. And why NASA? Because that's for that's exploring space and going to the moon and other planets. Well, you have to be well involved in math, mathematics, vibrations, energy. See what I'm saying? I can't even hear you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm
Okay, now I'm
listening.
beginning to hear you.
Yeah, I'm listening. I hear you.
Yeah, a lot of people need to know that.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to figure out why do people think that words are so important, and words are created from spell or spelling or spells. But it's the math that is the creativity here. Without math, you will not be able to create anything. This table, these chairs, the television set, you won't be able to create anything without math.
Hmm.
You can cast all the spells in the world the same way Chris Angel, Houdini, Copperfield, David Blaine, all of these guys are illusionary. They cast spells, and that's all they're doing when you see their shows. If there's an elephant on that stage, you throw some rats up there, he's going to start stuffing around. And if there's a plane up there, it's not going anywhere. But it's almost like a form of hypnosis when you see shows that are concerning magic.
Yeah.
Yes, illusionary.
Exactly. But it seemed like people are more interested in uh celebrities, and I call it idol worshiping because when we're speaking about what you're speaking about, knowledge, health, science, owning your own intellectual property, learning business, a lot of people are not interested. They're only interested in idol worshiping other people, sports athletes, rappers, singers. It's like they give more energy to other people than they do themselves.
Well, the
So,
reason why they're so interested in celebrities and people who are creators and inventors and very famous people and very wealthy is because they want to touch them. They want to bask in that energy, and they want knowledge. They want to know, how did you do this? How did you accomplish this? How did you
mhm,
build a brand? How did your brand take off? Because a lot of them are mimicking and trying to be these various celebrities that they admire. And some of them
mhm,
just really admire different ones because of their accomplishments and want to learn from them. It's a lot of things going on. There are trolls, there are haters, there are people who want to just sabotage you. There's others who love you and very giving and very kind. There's all kinds of stuff that is commingling, simply good and bad people commingling. Not everybody is a hater, not everybody is a lover out there. It's just simply good and bad commingling. So
yeah,
you just
I
have to be careful who you deal with.
exactly. I have a radio station. I think you came on about 8 years ago, and I started mingling in the YouTube streets with a genuine heart, donating, helping, just donating, showing love, voicing my opinion. And a lady took the fact that a guy called me a celebrity name. She took it, did a video on it, and you know I don't think it was cool to do that because the woman is not in a good position right now with her career, and for you to title me this woman and to have all these people coming to my page, I felt some type of way. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna just stay in my lane, just do my own show and stay off of other people's shows because I came with good intent. I mean, I was called every name in the book. People still believe I'm her. You know what I'm saying? I go to my page saying that
Wow.
it's crazy. I mean, and then you have people um trademarking people's names in the entertainment industry. You got vloggers copywriting and doing LLCs on other vloggers brands. So my question to you is what what advice can you give other vloggers on intellectual property and how to protect their brands, because I'm seeing so much thievery and stealing and hatred going on in these YouTube streets. I mean,
Well,
they get mad.
I
They
try
get
to
mad when
tell
you support other bloggers. I thought we were grown. People, they're actually getting mad because you're on other bloggers' pages. I'm like, we grown. We can go to whoever page we want to go to. But I see it's very competitive in these YouTube streets. I see that, it's a lot of hatred going on, competition. And it's like, it's enough, resources and money for everybody to be able to eat off of the YouTube streets. So when it comes to intellectual property, what suggestion or would you give other people that's building their brand to protect their brand that take
you
this
can't, let me tell you something. I protected my brand and they've been lying out there. I had copyrights. That's why I won. Come on. And people
yeah
were still lying and saying that I lost and my case was thrown out and just a whole lot of innuendos and lies. You can't stop anybody from stealing. People will
no
continue to steal no matter what. There's no way you can protect anybody can protect themselves against theft. It doesn't matter if your children have birth certificates; they'll steal them right out of your home or right out of your yard. It doesn't matter if your car and television you have the receipt and you have the title; they'll steal it right out of your yard. I had copyrights; it didn't stop them from stealing. The government is the one that's at fault. The government is
yeah
the one that will not protect our rights to due process of the law. So, if
mm,
what I would tell people is, if your work is copyrighted and trademarked and they're stealing, then you got a beef with the government because you pay for those copyrights, you pay for those trademarks. And if you steal from some wealthy people, they're going to come and put you in prison.
mm,
So, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You should be protected the same way they protect the wealthy people. They supposed to protect you also that same way because you have the same copyrights and same trademarks from the same organizations.
yeah
So you need to make them enforce the law where the law is fair for everyone. This is what's going on. Come on.
yeah
You can't have a gun and guard your stuff. That's breaking the law. You know what I'm saying? You have law enforcement and law agencies that is supposed to protect you and your property. You're not supposed to be a vigilante. So if the law enforcement is not protecting your copyrights and trademarks, then you need to eject them from office, not vote on them, and get rid of them or make them enforce the law for everyone. Do you see what I'm saying?
absolutely yeah
One law under
I
God for everyone.
mhm mhm yeah I mean, like you say, they still lying on you and people still believe I'm her. And it's like I show my face. So I was using an avatar. So now I'm showing my face and I'm
Well,
like,
there's no
yo, these
such
people.
thing as an avatar. James Cameron was teaching demon possession. To
Uh
claim
oh.
that you using another body that's not your own body is what you call
Uh-huh.
possession. It's where you come and you possess somebody else's body, use it to go over there and sabotage a body, a group of people. Because when you look in the movie Avatar 2009, and I helped
Uh-huh.
this guy to get his copyrights to
Okay.
Avatar because
Mm-hmm.
James Cameron stole from 12 people and one of the guys got his copyrights. But he's a witch, he's a warlock, he's teaching witchcraft. You gotta know, come on now.
I
How you
know.
gonna possess somebody else's avatar and call
All
avatar
right.
a body? The word
Yeah.
avatar is an ascending master. James
Mm.
Cameron stole it from the kids' a video game called Avatar, and it was a movie that was called Avatar, and he made them change their name to Airbender because the Avatar is an ascending master who's able to control the elements. He's able to control the earth. He's able to control the air, the fire, the water. Do you see what I'm talking about? He's
Uh
an
huh.
ascending master, but it's not supposed to be body possession. Where if you look at that movie, Avatar is nothing but Pocahontas, Disney's Pocahontas, with a lot
Mm.
of stolen products from other people. One of them being Stephen J. Perry, where you see the blue lady with the tail, and you see the exact scenes where she's using the bow and arrow. But that is supposed to be Pocahontas and the natives, and how the white soldiers and settlers came in and actually destroyed them.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mhm.
Very, very deep.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so
A
don't
lot
use
going
that terminology.
on.
Don't
Okay, I
say I
won't.
had an avatar.
I
I
mean,
tell
it's
people, I say, do you know what you're saying? You're
saying
saying
yeah.
you're practicing witchcraft and demon
Okay.
possession.
Well, it's a cartoon. It's a character, or it's a character of myself just that was drawn up that I use when
But
I'm
then
not
just
showing.
say you use a caricature, a
Okay,
caricature,
a
or a
card.
yes,
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
that if you're
Okay,
using,
you're right. Don't
but
say
you're
avatar.
not using anybody's body. And
Yeah.
because look how he's using avatar, like you're only using somebody's body, because that's
Body.
what he was selling in that movie. Did you remember the guy in the wheelchair would go and possess the body, steal the body, and go over there and sabotage?
Massage. Yeah, you're right. Okay,
Yeah,
so I
that's
won't be
demon
using the
possession.
word.
That's just
Yeah.
somebody coming and stealing your body and going out and killing
Yeah.
a lot of people and coming back, and you got your body, you don't even know what happened, or you're
Mm,
drunk with a lot of spirits occupying your body. You go out and kill a lot of people at the bus stop, and then the demons leave your body, and then you're back in your body and you don't know what happened, but they arresting you, and you say,
mm,
"Wait a minute, I don't remember doing any of this."
mhm,
Because someone stole your body and was occupying it and committed some crimes while they did it. That's very
mhm.
serious. That's witchcraft.
That's witchcraft. Yeah, yeah, that's serious. You're right.
Yes.
Yeah, won't be using that word because words have power, and
Oh
you're
yeah.
right.
And you
Yeah,
you're influencing others to follow pursuit of that witchcraft.
and when you use words, certain words,
Exactly. And you're telling them
spell.
it's okay, it's
Yeah,
normal, and hey, this is fun. It's
no,
not fun.
it's not fun. No, no.
Uh-uh.
So maybe that's where all the chaos came from. I'm saying, where's all this chaos coming from? I'm like trying to figure out like what is going on. I keep going viral. Then I saw another video yesterday. Somebody took and reproduced and put out, and I'm like, wow, it just don't stop. But anyway, anywho, I guess it happens to the best of us, and people are upset with me because they think that I really portrayed to be this woman that I never ever portrayed to be. So it is what it is. So,
Yeah,
but
but
anyway,
let me tell you, do not worry about it because the truth is always fundamental and it's always catching up with people.
hmm,
Every lie has to bow down to the truth. All you have to do is just keep telling the truth, and that
yeah,
lie will go away.
yeah,
Yeah, just focus on the truth and not focus on the negative or who's
exactly,
telling and spreading the negative. Let
exactly.
them go on. They'll suffer for what they're creating. Okay,
Well, the
everybody
sister,
gets what they give.
yeah, the sister
Go
took the
on.
video down. And I discovered another video of mine a couple of days ago that came out, got almost 30,000 views, exposing my personal information. So the guy's in England, so I emails the guy. He said I'll bleep it out, but you can't. strike my channel. You can't have me take it down. I'm gonna lose a lot of money, and I'm gonna end up suing you." And he started quoting all these laws, the Digital Act law, all these laws,
Well,
just to
let
keep
me
the
tell you
children.
something. When people do stuff to you, it's someone who's have labeled you and trying to destroy you. And
Hmm.
you have to rebuke that, and you have to use prayer, because when
Hmm.
someone is doing an evil act to you, you had to counteract that evil with good. You can't
With
come
good.
in and use, pay evil for evil. You have to
Hmm.
pay evil with kindness, with love, with truth, and with prayer, especially with prayer. Prayer is one of the most powerful forces in the universe, and
Yeah.
you have to counter. I will teach you. If you will do it, then you can get
Hmm.
rid of that. Otherwise, you're going to have to use the controversy to sell and make money. Because love, like Tupac says, love me or hate me, you can make money off of the controversy.
I
Because
mean,
that's what that guy is doing. He's
the
making money
video.
off the.
Yeah,
Now,
the
but
video. It
you
wasn't
might have,
bad. It's
what
just the fact
happened?
that it wasn't a bad video. It's the fact that people were calling my phone from the video because he didn't bleep out my personal information. And but he did. After when I emailed them, he took it out. But the fact that it's got almost 30,000 views in a couple of days, immediately when it got released 3 days ago, his subscribers started calling me, asking me, "Am I this? Am I that?" And I didn't know what they were talking about because this video came out 2 years ago. So this man took this video from 2 years ago and redid the video and used the video to break down the law. And
Well, he was making
um,
money from utilizing your information and making money, and you should tell him that he needs to provide money for you, or he has to remove a lot of stuff that he's making money off of you. And
because I asked him, I said, "So you're all the way
sorry,
in England, Paris,
but
somewhere. You're all the way over there in England somewhere." I said, "If your subscriber would have never called me, I would have never known that you took my video." And he was like, "Well, he had it's fair use and he has the right. He didn't have to ask you for permission and all this stuff." I just
well,
gave the
no, no, no.
emails,
He
but
can't sell your personal information. If he's selling, you have laws to protect you
no,
also.
yeah, he wasn't selling it. It's just that he didn't bleep it out of the video that he was using to demonstrate the law. But it's okay. Um, it is what it is, like you said. I agree with everything you said. But yeah. So people have to protect their intellectual property and understand that, like you said, the government should be enforced to do the right thing, but they don't. And I was told that when you send in your music and your creativity, your intellectual property, that a lot of the people at the Library of Congress are the ones that are taking people's intellectual properties. Have you ever heard of that?
A lot of
The
people
steal.
where are taking the intellectual property? Where are they located?
Well, the Library of Congress, when you send in your paperwork and your money and you get your copyright back, your paperwork once you file your intellectual property. I was informed that a lot of the workers that work in the Library of Congress are stealing a lot of intellectual property when it comes
Oh
into
yeah,
the.
probably a lot of people, but they can get busted because everybody's work is a derivative of a source work can be traced back to that source work, and any derivative is made from your source work. You have a right of ownership of that copyrights to the derivative. I've
Yeah,
gotten people their Black Panther copyrights. I've got people their Avatar copyrights. I can get anybody in their copyrights that have been stolen from. It's a piece of cake.
yeah,
It's just like someone come in the hospital and they steal your kids. Well, the kidnapper can't give them a birth certificate. Only the mother, the primary, can give them the birth certificate because the baby's DNA can be traced to the source, the mother.
yeah, yeah,
Do you see what I'm saying? So I try to tell people, don't worry about that. It's easy to come after them, and it's easy to take possession of the derivative work, and you make money off of it. Let them invest in it, but you take it and make money off of it. That's
Exactly.
good punishment for stealing.
Have
Oh
you?
yes, it is.
I
Yes,
feel
it is.
I hear you. Wait, were you ever involved in the Black Panther copyright for the
I
movie The
told you
Black?
I got one of the people their Black Panther copyright. I got them their copyrights to the Black Panther movies. One of my students or mentoring that I was mentoring.
Oh, okay. I know, but my subscribers they don't know. That's why I wanted you to let them know a little bit about your background and the things that
Yeah,
you've
and I
done
got the
for
I got
people.
another guy his copyrights to Avatar because James
Okay.
Cameron stole from 12 people and their lawyers pretty much sabotaged all these people. It was an easy case to win. I don't see why these lawyers do these people like that. But they tried to do me the same way, and I went after them and I got them.
Yeah.
And I put liens on all these people products properties. Excuse me. $3.5 billion. I own their properties and studios and businesses and
Ooh,
homes.
how
That's
much?
right.
Can you say that number again?
$3.5 billion. I'm a billionaire because I
Ooh.
own their properties and their buildings and their homes. And
That's
I put in three expert witnesses to validate that I was owed $4.7 billion. And I also won attorney fees, almost a $500,000 in attorney fees. And of course, I took their properties, which are $3.5 billion.
mm, mm, mm. Wow,
And I'm
that's
going to
amazing.
lean up some more properties. I can lean up to $4.7 billion worth because that's been validated by three CPAs, expert witnesses, certified public accountants that were worth $25,000 each. I had three of them, that's $75,000. The experts came into the court, validated that I was owed $4.7 billion. And so that's how I was able to put the liens in and enter it into courts, showing the whole world that I own these properties. And it's docket 286. Anytime you want it, I'll send you a copy by email and send
Okay.
you the court docs. And you can go on my website, truthaboutmatrix.com or
Mhm.
matrixterminator.com, and look at the court docs on your own.
That's good. You look so beautiful still.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate
Even
that.
now. Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to see if anybody wanna come on. I dropped the chat. So if anybody wanna ask any questions, y'all free to come on. I see you, Daphne. Hey, Daphne. Daphne's out of Chicago. She said, "Greetings, Miss Sophia."
Well, it's no miss. I was married before, so you're gonna have to knock the miss off. It's Miss Oprah, because Oprah is a single woman who's never been married, had no kids. I'm never gonna be a single woman because I was married with kids, divorced. So the title is Ms. MS, but I don't want anyone to call me Ms. I want people to call me Sophia Stewart, and it's not any. When you're mispronouncing something or got the wrong title, it is not no respect, and it's not no Southern thing. I need to teach people. It is. It's just like you calling the Queen of England princess and think you're doing her a favor when her title is Queen. And you figure if you use a royal title, that she should be grateful and thankful because you're incorrect, and you think it's some form of respect when you're not using proper terminology. That's why they have to prep people before they meet the Queen of England for these reasons alone, because people don't know protocol and they think that they're doing something, doing you a favor.
Yeah.
So people need to just address me as Sophia. And if they can't pronounce Sophia, then they need to use the Scandinavian version of my name, which is Sonia. Just like Michelle over in Europe is Michael. So Sonia is the same as Sophia over in the European countries.
Yeah.
But I would love to talk to Daphne, and she can call me Sophia because that's my name.
The link is in the chat if you want to come on and talk to her. And I see Jeff keep coming in and out. He comes and goes.
Well, if she has a question that she can relate to you, or
Yeah.
she can text it or email it, I'll be very happy to answer the questions for her.
Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat and she'll answer them for you. Yeah. Yeah. I got another show after this, Black Root Science. Brother Amun is gonna be on, and then we have a building stronger family relationship show at 11 o'clock. So
Well, I could just start talking about Matrix and Terminator. Maybe I
yeah.
should do that because I always, when I'm trying to get some conscious stuff over to people, I'm always
Hmm.
interrupted, by the other hosts, not you ever, but there are people who just do not want consciousness to come out, you know.
No.
But I guess I would just start talking about and telling people about the law and how to
Yeah.
utilize the law to best help them, and what brands are. And lots of people want to create brands and they don't understand what branding is. Some
Uh
of
huh.
them do, but you need to go out and create a product
Mhm.
that is going to heal and uplift or help others,
Mhm.
and something that the whole world is going to love. It's just like the man created the safety pin, or the man that created the Hershey chocolate. They created something that was needed, something that everybody, utilized, and it obviously make others happy. So if you
Mhm.
start doing that, you will find something that is going to make the whole world happy, and they're going to come and celebrate you and make
Mhm.
you very wealthy and make your name well known.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how it works. When you think about others and not think about yourself, when you're creating something that is going to help others, if you would take everything off of self, which is selfish, and
Oh, your
concentrate on
phone.
others, then you will find the formula to something phenomenal. That's how it's done. To think of others instead of yourself is the key to success. Being grateful, having gratitude, knowing that God is real. That's another thing. Because if God was not real, there would be no need to convince anyone. Do you see what I'm saying? And I'm going to just start talking about a lot of things because people just need to hear things randomly. Just like you were saying, there are a lot of haters out there. There are a lot of trolls out there. There's a lot of saboteurs out there. They want to lead somebody somewhere. And there's people out there that's about the truth and want to deliver that truth and bring that truth. And so this is what we need. We need more truth bringers or truth givers, and we need to hear the
Mhm.
truth. We need to start creating. We are co-creators, and we have some of the most phenomenal things and gifts that we can create with.
Yes. Yes.
So we need to start creating.
Oh yeah. Instead of always wanting to take our money somewhere else. Everybody keep wanting me to join their Black Wall Street. I'm like, why we just don't create another successful economic uh, platform such as Black Wall Street? They was like, some people agree, oh, we should try something new and create something new. And then most people want the history to live on. I said, well, history do repeats itself, but we're in the 21st century. And we need to be doing something new. We can't name it something different than Black Wall Street.
You can always come up with different names. and still use the same process, but name it something else besides Black or White Wall Street. White Wall Street was just a whitewash of the Black Wall Street that came before. You know, when Oklahoma City, that Oklahoma bombing, excuse me, not a city, but the bombing of the Oklahoma, Black people that was very wealthy, and they had banks and everything, and they literally got bombed, and their monies got taken away from them, and they were buried in massive graves. And this wasn't the first atrocity to happen to Black people in America. It's just been covered up.
Mhm.
It's just been covered up. I heard about the people buried under the lake in Georgia. I think it was 2,000 Black people who were very prosperous, and they killed all of them and stole their money out of the banks, and then they flooded the city and just hid them underwater. But the atrocity goes across the board in many, many different states.
Mhm.
It's so sad to kill people for their monies and their fame and their creativity, but this has been going on for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And something needs to be done about it. And for one thing, it needs to be exposed, and lots of people need to know about it, and they need to start learning about their history.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. I always tell them to go talk to the elders in their family, archive it, record it, write it down. You can't know where you're going if you don't know where you come from and
Or where you've been.
or where you've
Exactly.
been. Yeah, yeah. Brother Jeff, you want to ask Sister Sophia a question?
Yes, I wanted to ask first, hello, how you doing? And I appreciate your work, and those are my two favorite movies, along with Aliens. The question I always had was the
Thank
person.
you.
You welcome. I always thought the person that wrote, and I'm sorry for my not knowing more information about you a little bit more, but I always thought the person that wrote the Matrix had some type of programming background because of all of the terminology and the way the movie was created. I just thought that that person was probably a programmer, had some type of extensive
Well, I'm
computer
not a
programming background.
programmer, but let me explain something to you. A programmer is nothing but a person well versed in mathematics. And I'm a
Correct.
prodigy, and I'm a polymath like Tesla and Leonardo da Vinci. I'm a polymath. So when you use the terminology programmer and a techie, those people are just nothing but mathematical geniuses and prodigies. That's all they are, who have background in math. I scored a 98 on the IRS exam. It's nothing but pure math. So yes, I do have a background in technology, and but
Okay.
I understand programming because it's nothing but math. The architect, when he creates the bridge, he is nothing but math. His blueprint is math. He has to determine how long the cables are going to swing out before they snap with the winds. You have to determine the velocities and how many cars will be held on that bridge before it collapses. It's all mathematics. Every creator that created a chair, a table, a car, an engineer, he has to determine the dimensions of the car, the weight of the car. It's all mathematics. The only thing you've been taught is about the spells and programming. That's the name of when you program somebody and you program them with a spell.
Well,
Do you see what
I
I'm
wouldn't
talking about?
listen. Yeah, I understand what you're talking about, but you do have to have some type of understanding when you start talking about article and applications. The average
Sweetie,
person,
those are
average
just,
person is,
sweetie,
excuse me, the average
sweetie,
person is not going to really
sweetie,
understand what you're
those are
talking about.
just names that they've renamed simple math. That's all. When every generation, every period of time, they will change it 10 years from now, 15 years from now. The same word application will be some other terminology, but it will mean the same identical thing.
Okay, I understand that. I mean,
Well, I know because you
I'm an
must.
engineer by trade, so I know it's all mathematical. It's all O's and ones. I understand that when you break it down down to the
Yeah,
binary
well,
code.
well,
But
let me just break it down, Jeffrey. Let me just break it down to you for you even more. In the legal field, I'm a I I do math. I do math. I do um, what you call RICO law. I'm a paralegal. In the
okay,
law, you have to learn. Listen to me. In the law, you have to learn certain legalese and terminology. But once you learn that legalese and terminology, anybody can go in there and maneuver their way and win huge lawsuits. You have to learn the legalese and the terminologies of every system in order to crack the codes on the system and go in there and utilize the information. Everyone. But
okay, well,
you don't have to have a background in it. Meaning
right.
background means that go and work for somebody and it all you have to have is knowledge of math and be very phenomenal in math. You could be a prodigy. Let's say a little girl that's 12 years old, she's a prodigy and she's going to go work, get a degree and work for NASA. NASA is nothing but mathematics. You understand?
Yes,
Calculus.
I think you.
You know what I'm talking.
I think you answered my question. I'm not trying to debate you on whether
No, I'm not
mathematics or.
debating. No, listen to me,
I was just
Jeffrey.
curious. I was just curious
Jeffrey,
about your
Jeffrey,
background.
Jeffrey, hold up a moment. I am not arguing with you or debating with you. There are lots of people listening and they want to learn what I'm teaching, sweetie. I'm not teaching you. It's just not me and you talking to each other. There's other people who are listening and talking. And when I go and I extend on the information, they're learning.
I
So
get that.
yeah, so that's what I'm doing.
What I'm
I'm just
saying is that
expanding.
I understand all that. I'm not debating. You answered my question, and I appreciate your answer. Thank you for the information. But I didn't come to debate. I had just had a curious question of what your background was in terms of writing the Matrix.
I
That's all.
have a
That's all.
mathematical background, just like
I
you.
understand. I
Just like
understand
you.
that. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I appreciate and I love your music, your movies. I mean
Thank you
your
very much. Then you
yeah.
need to get the book so you can get more
I do.
details
I
and
do.
learn more math.
I will. I will. I will. Thank you.
You're welcome, Jeffrey. Very welcome.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Well, all I was saying was there's other people listening and they
Yeah.
might not understand anything because they might not be an engineer like Jeffrey,
Uh
you
huh.
see, or a prodigy like myself, or even a genius, but they want to know so they can know more about it. So I was just expanding, not for him, but for the
Yeah.
many others who are listening out there.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Breaking down the technology.
And coding seems to be the hot word today that a lot of people are talking about. Not enough children in our communities are learning how to do coding and applications. And what do you think about coding? Having schools bring
Well,
back.
this is the deal. They don't want you to learn math. They do not want you to create. Like I told you, you got your butt whipped because of the spells or spelling. They want you to, they can program you with spells if they can keep you from math. With math, you're going to be creating everything. Do you understand? They don't
Yeah.
want you to create anything here. So
Hmm.
coding, they don't want you to learn to hack, or they don't want you to learn to crack codes and go into systems and extract knowledge. They want you robotic. They want you programmable. They want
Hmm.
to control you and control your actions and everything and your knowledge. And this is what it's all about. It's plugging and keeping you plugged in to the system. When you unplug, you're outside of the box. You're
Hmm.
outside of their jurisdiction because, like in the pyramids, it says, know thyself. If you don't
Yeah.
know who you are, and any man can enslave you because you don't know who you are and what you're capable of doing. And anyone can give a program and put a lie where they can control and enslave you. You don't know who you are and what you're capable of doing. That's why history is his story, and that's why he keeps lying. And there's all this ignorance and confusion, and people don't know who they are, what they can do, where they're going, because been told so many lies, constantly told lies, constantly kept in ignorance. And look at ignorance. It has the word ignore in it. It's not a bad word. It has the word ignore in it because you're ignoring facts you should know. And what do people do? They go on the internet. The internet is nothing but a communications platform, a distribution platform to make money. All the people are on there, and you're wasting your time gossiping. You're wasting your time
I
trolling.
agree.
You're wasting your time in
Hmm.
ignorance if you don't know that it's supposed to be used to make money,
Mm.
to get the attentions of millions and billions of people. Put your business on there, advertise, and make money. It is not a tool to be used to listen to gossip or anything. It's a tool to use for teaching, to elevate. It's not
Mhm.
a court. And anybody can put lies on there. You can't even sue some of the people because they're not even using their real names. So I
Mhm.
ask myself, what is wrong with these people? You're supposed to be concentrating on building and creating businesses and working for yourself and using the internet, which the government has made commercialized, for you to go on this distribution platform, distribute your products, your business, and create wealth with billions of people around the globe. If you want to open up a streaming company and make millions. And when the satellites come into play, you'll make billions. If you want to create another pants, clothes, all kinds of things, start using the platform to create and to economically to become wealthy. And stop using it to gossip, to hurt people, to slander people, to troll people, and using it for pure ignorance. It's an information platform to inform you, to give you information so you can be successful at whatever you do. Take the positive information, utilize it, and start creating with it and selling. I
Well,
can't believe some of these people, they got egos, but you're never going to make a money off of ego. You're only going to make money off of creating a product and selling it, opening
Exactly.
up you a virtual business, a virtual website, of and selling.
well, it goes back to the original. When the internet was first created, it was created between universities, and it was just to exchange
Yeah.
information. So the original purpose of the internet was to just educate, and
I got an
between
email you
universities, just to uh, uh, a better way of connecting
just want me to text
and
the link.
sharing information. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you go back to the true intentions of the internet, it
I'm gonna
was for
text
educational purposes
you. Gonna
to
come
share
right.
information.
You come right on the
Yeah,
So
show.
yeah,
and
you're right. You're absolutely right.
I understand that. But I'm saying
Well,
now
the
that we
thing too is
have
we're online.
7
So when
billion
she
people
leaves,
on the earth,
it's
and
still
we have
online. I gotta end the show. You
385
gotta come
million
on.
people in America,
I can end it.
why don't we use the platform not just to
Okay,
inform,
so
not just to educate, but to help people to create wealth where they're not dependent on the government, they're not dependent on others,
some
they're
real shit.
dependent on themselves
Okay.
because God gave you
Uh,
creativity and you
Chris,
are a co-creator
let's
and
see.
you are not
Make sure I'm
utilizing that gift.
talking about the book.
If you're on the internet and you are gossiping or you're trolling or you're trying to harm
Never.
others and you're spreading ignorance and lies, you're not benefiting even yourself.
I agree. I agree. I mean, for a long time, I had a Facebook account and I never used it. Yeah, I try to stay off it as much as I possibly can.
Well, Facebook
Um,
is nothing but a database owned by the government. Zuckerberg got paid
it,
billions of
it,
dollars when
it,
he sold the
exactly.
database.
That's
The
why I stay off
database,
of it. That's why I
right?
stay
But a
off
lot
of
of
it.
people don't know that because they're vain, vanity, and they have egos and they want to be seen. Lots of people
Exactly.
wants attention. They don't want money. They don't want anything but attention, and that's why they utilize these platforms, social network. Like I told them, it's all over Facebook. It bans the truth, blocks it, excuse me, it blocks the truth. Twitter bans the truth. YouTube deletes the truth. The government uh, censors the truth, and the media never mentions the truth. Come on.
I like that.
Well, it's
I
the
like that. I have
truth.
to remember. I have to remember that. I
Well,
like
it's not
that.
it's not hard to remember because if you go on Facebook and they don't like the truth, they actually block you. They
That's
block
good.
you on Facebook. They have
I
snatched
know very
off
little about Facebook.
two
I've
of
never,
my
I don't know nothing about
websites.
blocking or posting, or I don't know very little about any of that stuff because I stay off of it. I was taught early that to stay off Facebook because it's just a way for them to steal your identity. That was one thing.
Well, it's
So
not to steal your identity. It's
well, it's
actually,
a
like I told you, it's actually put there as a database because they can actually track you. They can track your family and friends. If you
but
commit a
that's
criminal act, they can actually get you. I've
true,
seen where a guy
true,
committed a criminal act in Vegas and they tracked him all the way to Twitter's and they got
true,
him in less than 2 weeks. He
true,
killed somebody
true.
in Vegas, and he and his girlfriend was on Twitter's. So a social network is a database also, besides what you just explained. The
Well,
government is paying
that was the other
billions
thing
of
I was
dollars.
taught to stay off. Yeah, to stay off
Yeah,
for
well, the
those
government is
reasons.
paying billions of dollars for this database, which has a lot of people's phone numbers, email addresses, their home addresses, and a lot
True.
of rappers have been killed where they accidentally ordered flowers and they put their addresses on their social network by accident and they actually got robbed and killed. And a lot of them have home invasions because they have not learned to use PO boxes and use standard addresses that you can buy to get their stuff. No one
Right,
has ever taught them.
right, and you can actually get FedEx to deliver to your PO box now. I mean,
Yeah,
so
you
yeah,
can
there's
you can
no
get physical addresses. You can get physical addresses that you can pay for monthly or every 6 months, where you don't have to utilize your own home address and you can stay safe. But these
correct, correct.
rappers have never learned this stuff. They're not educated, and lots of them. You Google it and see how
Well,
many rappers have just died recently when people came over, got their home address, went in there and did home invasions
right. Well, you can
and
actually
killed
use
them.
you can actually use the post office address. Now they'll allow you to use the post office address. So if you whatever the address is, the post office, then you just put your PO box as the number.
Well, you
So
can use a PO box and you can use a physical address, and you can get a physical address because there are services that will provide you and deliver and have your product or whatever
mhm.
come to you. You can actually pay for a physical address and use it. This has been going on way in the 80s when I was at USC.
Right,
We had phone service where you didn't even have to have a phone at home. You could actually call the phone service and get all your messages, and then they would provide you a physical address also. So this has been going on
okay.
for a long time. Just like I told you, God says, my people perish because of a lack of knowledge.
Right, right. But I'm just saying that's one way. But I think a cheaper way is to get a PO box. Is to get a PO box
Well, yeah,
and actually use
there are all kind of
yeah,
cheaper
and
ways.
actually use the post office as the address. I mean that's a more
No,
cheaper
I
way of doing
understand
it.
that. I understand that,
Yeah,
Jeffrey. But people need to research and Google and see what's best for them. Okay. But you're absolutely right. There are
Correct.
cheaper, there are cheaper methods too. But anybody that does not knowing that life is a threat for them and they don't take care of themselves in research and they have all the money in the world, you're just putting yourself at fault. Okay?
I agree. I agree. I've been having a PO box for a long time. That was one of the first things I did when I graduated from college was get a PO box.
Yeah,
Quick
well, it keep
So
question.
you safe and it keep people from coming in and doing home invasions on you. The wealthy people and the educated people and the scholarly people and others have been doing this for a long time, not utilizing their home addresses, and you can't blame them. It's
Quick
just a lot of
question.
mess.
Daphne asked the question: is numerology a mathematical tool for understanding spirituality?
It depends on how you use numerology. People sell numerology and numbers to different various of people who are curious about it. They teach people. Uh, people use numerology for lotteries and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's just another tool that people can utilize if they understand the numbers. Because, like I told you, the universal math is mathematics. You know what I'm talking about? That's very important. Math. Learning math is the key to creating not spells or spellings, not programs, but learning math. You create with math. The engineer, the architect, the inventor, they all create with math. That's what Tesla did. That's why he had all these inventions. He's a polymath. Poly means many mouth. He was creating with many mouths. So was Leonardo da Vinci. When you paint with numbers because it's vibrations, it's energy. You know what I'm talking about? Just creating is the universal language is math. They just won't tell you that. I'm sorry, but they won't tell you that. Hello?
Yeah, we're here. You had went
Okay,
out and
great.
came.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you, Sophia, for being on the show. Hopefully, you'll come back. We got another show to start after this, and another one at 11 on building strong families. And brother Chief Amoon is going to be on talking about Black root science, so you might want to listen in to that. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Ron, for having me. Nice meeting you, Jeffrey. And I hope I've answered some of your questions. And I will
oh yeah.
talk to you guys later. And people get
Okay.
my book, truthaboutmatrix.com, matrixterminator.com. Get more Matrix. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Hey, Amoon.
Peace, peace. How you doing, sis? I'm still
Peace.
trying to get everything kind of straight over here. I'm getting my laptop actually together, but I'm on the cell phone right now.
Okay, you want to start at 9:30 because we could just. I'll just send you another link and we can jump back on and give you some time. Just let me know when you're ready, okay?
Start at 9:30.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna get your computer together, I can start
Yeah,
another
yeah, yeah.
show.
We can do that. We can do that.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. Peace.
Bye bye. That was Sister Sophia Stewart. Everybody. I want to thank everybody for attending the show. And if you haven't subscribed, please like, please share, and please subscribe.